I'm here at the Georgia Regional Organized Crime Conference, and I'm here with Cherokee County District Attorney's Office. How are you both doing?
Doing great.
You had a presentation earlier today. You were talking about the training that you're doing with law enforcement and with retailers. Maybe just a little bit more about what that is, what the purpose of it is.
So we find that there is a gap between some of what the retailers are doing from the ORC perspective, working with law enforcement, and what we need in the courtroom. And we thought, what better way to tackle this and actually go after it ourselves? And Damion, who serves as our Deputy Chief over Organized Crime and Gang Unit, has actually come up with a module that we're going to be presenting next month in our circuit to work with our stakeholders, bring retailers, prosecutors, and law enforcement all to the table at the same time.
Yeah, that's great. What do you think is the biggest opportunity right now? Is it just the education of the retail side, or is it the education of law enforcement, or both?
I think a lot of it is, expressing that we are brought in to fully investigating as well as prosecuting these cases. I know that we are playing catch up on the prosecution end with identifying these cases and identifying this as a problem in our state. And so part of that is showing the buy-in from our end that we are taking this seriously, and then giving them the resources of what it is that we need so that we can effectively prosecute these cases.
Yeah, I think that's great. Now, I know I've seen you present here before. You have a long-time partnership with GROC.
Yes.
So maybe how has that worked together with the prosecuting team? Like, how has GROC supported you, and how have you supported GROC?
It's been amazing, really just connecting with Chad, is everybody knows Chad McManus, right? I mean, you reach out to Chad and you get what you need immediately. For us, the partnership has been amazing because like I said, there has been traditionally a piece that's been missing where we need to know more of what's going on the retail side so that we can incorporate that better into our cases. Recently, actually, Chad joined us down at our annual prosecutors conference, and we all spoke together to over 600 prosecutors across the state to bring the message about what GROC has to offer. And it was surprising to find out that of the group in the audience, there were only about 10 hands that actually knew what GROC was. So by bringing Chad down to the conference, now we've actually shown what GROC is and what they can do for our group,
That's
well
great.
as us being here with
It's just
GROC.
creating that awareness.
Yes.
And I know we talked about this a little bit earlier. It's not shoplifting. This is not just about stopping somebody from stealing one or two products. This is also about safety of the community, of the employees and the customers that are in your jurisdiction. So
Right.
is that signal pretty clear, you think, in Cherokee County?
I think it's clear in Cherokee County,
Yeah.
the work that Susan's done to get out there in front of this, and then to empower our team to be able to work and prosecute these cases. But also, I think with units like GROC being out and spreading the word, and then working with DA's offices, bringing in law enforcement in order to show that this is an issue, that it is here, and get out ahead of it as best as we can.
Yeah. One last question. I know you guys, there's a long line of people here waiting to talk to the both of you. And those are not gunshots that you're all hearing. Those are balloons popping in the background. But our company, and of course the podcast, is really founded on communication, effective communication. So maybe for each of you, how has just communication in general played a role in making you so successful in your careers?
Well, I think just when you don't have all of the information, you can't make the best decision, and you will not have, from our perspective, you will not have the most successful prosecution. So just the information gathering of what is actually available to us instead of in the past. So I've been doing this 20 years. Starting out my career, it was just calling the phone number of whatever loss prevention group you had with the story you were working with, and whatever you could get from them is what you had. And now, as we have evolved 2 decades later, the cases that Damion and his team are able to make are full packages of information that include video, incident reports, not just from the store that we're working with, but from that entire franchise across the country. And so the depth of the knowledge and information that is available now is mind-blowing compared to where it was when I started.
That's great.
I think communication is really the lifeblood of what we do. We have to communicate with our victims, our witnesses, our loss prevention agents, in order to facilitate what it is at the end of the day that we are expected to do, which is present a case to a jury, to 12 people, and educate them. We have to communicate with our law enforcement partners about what it is that we need from them, so we can effectively prosecute. And then at the end of the day, people like Susan have to go down to the state legislature
Right.
and speak with them and tell them what it is that we need, and communicate what it is that we're seeing and how we can better approach this at that level. So really it transcends every single level of our lives in order to be able to communicate allows us to do our jobs. Without that communication, without the buy-in from each person understanding what it is, then we're not going to be able to effectively tackle this issue.
Yeah, it's a great takeaway. And I know going to a lot of these orcas across the country, but just we need to copy and paste what you're doing in Cherokee County, because it's not just the mission, but even you guys personally, like seeing you here and you're committed. A lot of times prosecutors come to these events, they do their session, and they take off and run away. So it's been inspiring to see you guys you're committed to the community, and everybody here gets a chance to come up and talk to you. And I think that's kind of the key to success. So I appreciate what you're doing.
We appreciate all of you and everything that you do to make us be able to be more successful in the courtroom. It takes a team effort. We know that.